Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Greenbridge Community Housing Podcast. We're joined today by Paul from IMPAKT at Bedford.
Yep, IMPAKT Housing Support.
IMPAKT Housing and Support, apologies. Want to get it right?
Sorry.
No, it's absolutely fine. It's just a conversation.
Yep.
So nice to see you and lovely to meet you.
Nice
Thanks
to
for
meet you
agreeing
as
to do the podcast with us. Tell us a little bit about you, Paul, and IMPAKT Community Housing and Support.
So I'm Paul Hunt. I'm the Chief Executive of IMPAKT Housing Support. I've been here just over 24 years, which seems a very, very long time. My background is highway engineering, but I was very fortunate that I gave up work for 2 years when my children were much smaller. Was a house husband because my wife was a chief exec in the NHS. So it gave me the ability to do that. And when I went back into the workplace, I wanted to do work somewhere locally where I could put something back into the community because I found a faith about 30 years ago. And we were then called Bedford YMCA, which is when I joined. And we were 4 staff, 1 building. And I have a real passion for what we do because nobody chooses to be homeless. Nobody chooses to be living on the streets. Nobody chooses to be sofa surfing. You know, somebody's not born and they think, oh my gosh, my career is going to be homelessness. It doesn't work like that.
No.
There are situations, family circumstances that push someone in that direction. And I just wanted to put something back into a community where we could actually make a real difference. And that's why I do what I do for a living. I'm very passionate about what I do. I have a great vision for the organisation. But equally, you want to make sure that the services that we're delivering to the service users, residents, is also of a good quality, and that the buildings they live in are also of a very good quality. So that's why I do what I do.
Let's go back to the house husband part, because it's, I mean, obviously we're here to talk about impact, but it's also about the person.
Yes.
How did you find that?
I absolutely loved it. I really enjoyed. My daughters were then 7 and 2, and they were the best 2 years of my life because the relationship we have now, the bond we have now, it's never ending. And my youngest daughter, who is now 28 and mum to our first grandchild, Finley.
Oh, congratulations.
She phones me 6 times a day. At least 6 times a day. So that's fantastic.
Of course.
And she has a partner. But if there's something that they want some advice on, they pick the phone up to Dad.
It's great, isn't it?
And my eldest daughter is 33. She's a lawyer, but now an in-house legal counsel. And she's married, no children, quite career focused. But again, if there's an issue around DIY or something else, it's Dad. What do I do? What do you think? So 2 years at home with the girls was great because we used to go out. I used to take them to London, school holidays. We used to bike around, and it was just lovely to be with them actually for 2 years.
And I think they'll, even though they were young, there's things that they probably will remember doing with Dad, which is, and I get really excited. I know it's really crazy, but when I'm driving and I see a dad on the school run, I get really excited. I think, oh, how lovely, because it's always used to be mum. So when I see a dad on the school run, I think that's a good man, you know.
Yes, I mean, I've been doing the school run, picking up from school, dropping off at school. I was also chair of the PTA because both my daughters were very fortunate. They went to a private school. So I was chair of the PTA. It was just nice to be involved, really.
So you left your old career. So you had the break.
Yes.
And then what made IMPAKT? What was it about IMPAKT that attracted you to come and work here?
I think it was, as I say, I found a faith, which was quite critical, I guess. And I was actually having talks with our local vicar about going down the route of becoming ordained, amazingly. But that never worked out. So I felt as though working for somebody like, as we were then, Bedford YMCA, and putting something back into the community and bring in maybe a more of a corporate feel to the organisation, because charities are very good at what they do, but they run like a charity. And I'm afraid in this day and age, you have to run like a business.
Yeah.
And for me, it was about enhancing the quality of what we do. Not that it was poor, but it was raising it onto that next level. It was about a vision for developing and expanding the services. And ultimately, when we were based out of one of our housing projects, which is where we used to be, I used to know all 27 residents. And my daughters used to come into the or to the projects as well. And they used to talk to the residents. And interestingly, all the residents used to say to my children, listen to your parents.
I hope my boys are watching this, because they do listen, and then they go off and do their own thing. Then when it goes wrong, they come back and they go, Mum, can you tell me how to do it again?
Yes.
So they do actually pay attention, which is lovely. And it's nice that you had that family involvement. What are what I should say is, what is the mission statement for Impact? What is it?
Well, our mission statement was always about ending homelessness. And people used to say to me, well, how can you know when you've ended homelessness? Well, when the organisation doesn't exist, we would have then ended homelessness. But the reality is we're never going to end homelessness, because we know from our own organisation and other organisations that homelessness is actually getting worse. Despite the rhetoric from the government that says homelessness is decreasing, it's not decreasing at all. I mean, for instance, in our Luton project, 78 bed spaces, 1,200 referrals last year, which is a phenomenal amount.
That's a lot.
In Bedford, we had, I think, just over 400 referrals. So we get an awful lot of referrals for our services. And I guess we offer something slightly different, because we're what's called a PI service. So we're a psychologically informed environment. We went down that route back in 2018. So we ripped up the rule book, ripped up the policies and the procedures, and put them back in to be PI friendly.
Explain PI.
PI is about ending the revolving door of homelessness.
Right.
So it's about having warm, welcoming and bright buildings, non-institutionalised, no blue notice boards, no out-of-date notices left up. Bright colours, you either hate it or you love it. It's a bit like Marmite, really.
I love it.
But what it does do, I think for our residents, it's a sense that they feel valued and respected, and that they're not just a person or another number, that they are human. And it's about not dehumanizing people. And so, in all of our projects, our antisocial behavior is almost zero. We have zero graffiti around. We have huge waiting lists for our projects. And that's what really PI is about. And it's about changing the language. So we don't have support workers, we have housing coaches. We don't have risk assessments, we have safety plans.
Right.
We don't have interviews, we have meet and greets.
Right.
And it's changing the whole language.
Yeah.
And we operate something called elastic tolerance. So if something happens, you stretch the elastic, whereas historically they may have got themselves evicted.
Right.
And also, all of our housing coaches, all of our frontline staff are trained in trauma-informed care.
Very important.
Everybody's had trauma in some description.
Yeah.
So if something does happen, well, what was the trigger?
Yeah.
And then it's talking, or the housing coach talking to that resident to say, okay, what happened? Why did that happen? And actually, ultimately, it's about saying to the residents, actually, actions have consequences. And it's about getting them to take accountability and to be responsible for their actions, really. But PI works for us. We ditched a lot of organisations use the outcome star for support plans.
Yeah.
We did away with that, and we developed our own personal development plans, which works because then it's about the individual rather than a star that says, well, this month I'm an 8, but next month I'm going to be a 4.
Yeah.
What does that do for someone's self-esteem? It kind of doesn't do
not very much
good at all. So we teach that, develop our own personal development plans, and that seems to work really well because again, it's about being person-centered. It's not about us saying to the resident, the client, what it is, what we want you to do. It's about what do you want to do. And I always use the analogy, and it's a bit of a naff analogy, but I don't really care. So I'm a huge fan. I love cars. So if someone wants to own a Ferrari, what are the steps you have to take before you can own a Ferrari? And it's the same with our residents. If you want to go out to get a job, or you want to have a career, okay, what do you have to do to be able to get to that point?
So with regard to your not support workers, housing coaches, would they see the residents on a weekly, monthly, fortnight? How does that system work?
So when a resident first moves in, obviously they have a needs assessment done, and based on that needs assessment, it could be in the first couple of weeks, it's maybe once, twice a week, but then as time goes on, it then becomes once a week. So it's probably once a week. So our housing coaches will work with up to 15 residents. It's generally what they work with. But what we have identified through, because we collect a lot of data. So on the back of the data, we identified that mental wellness was a big issue. I think about 60% of our residents identified of having some kind of, not a huge, but a mental well. So on the back of that, we have recruited nearly it's about 2.5 mental wellness coaches, who then work alongside the housing coaches. But then we've also identified that drug and alcohol is a big issue. So we've now recruited a drug and alcohol coach who then works specifically with those residents to work through whatever their issues are. And it's not just us doing it all, then they get referred to outside agencies as well.
Right, okay.
But it's about having someone who's more specialist in-house.
Yes.
So the housing coaches can do what the housing coaches do, and the mental wellness coach will pick up any other issues, and then the drug and alcohol coach will pick up. So it's always becomes a wraparound service. And we just think that's actually quite important. We have great outcomes for our residents. Even now, you see people. I see people in Bedford who lived in our building 15 years ago, and they still remember you.
Yeah.
And they say, without you guys, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I always think of one individual who was, and I won't talk about his name, but he came to the UK, he was about 14, 15, dropped off in a London high street, couldn't speak a word of English, came to live at one of our buildings in Bedford, learned to speak English, took his O-levels, or GCSEs as they are, took his A-levels, took a degree in computer science, now teaches in a university, not in this country, but teaches computer science.
Oh, wow.
And there's another one who's got his own business as well. Another one he was a DJ on the European scene. So we get lots of successes.
And is that why you keep coming in every day?
I come in every day because I just love what I do. I love what the organisation does. And if we can make a difference to one person, we're making a difference to one person.
What's the lowest point for being at Impact for you?
The lowest point for me, I would have to say it was probably, I don't know, 17 years ago. A long time ago. But we had to, this is when we just had one building, we had to, somebody was evicted for many, many reasons. And they managed to tailgate back into the building on New Year's Eve and went up to his room on the 3rd floor, got a fire extinguisher, bashed the door in, threw all of the furniture out through the window into the car park, and then with a said fire extinguisher took out a 13-metre length of suspended ceiling and then smashed every light in the building.
Wow.
That's probably one of the worst times.
And what's the highlight so far? I know there's probably so many.
I can't actually think of one highlight.
No, right.
I think the fact that the organisation is in a really good place. I think we have a really great reputation with local authorities. I think, without sounding too arrogant,
No, please do.
I think we have set our standards are high,
and that's what it's about.
And my view is, if somebody has to use our services, I say to the staff, if you wouldn't live here, why would you expect somebody else to live here?
Absolutely.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So there are so many highlights. I mean, seriously, I can't even think of.
And that, I mean, and that's testament to what you do, right? If there's so many highlights that you can't think of one in particular, that's really, really good.
No.
What's the future looking like
for us? Well, we have a 10-year strategic plan.
Wow.
So our strategy, I mean, we now work with partners down in Cornwall, Devon, Kent. We're soon to be working with somebody up in Scarborough. Obviously, we work with Greenbridge, which is a really good partnership. We want to develop, because we are obviously a housing association, we want to develop move-on accommodation, so that we've got stage 1, stage 2, and then stage 3, which is own property. So at the moment we have stage 1, stage 2, but stage 3 is quite difficult to achieve.
Right.
But that is the plan, is to actually have our own stock of housing where we can actually move people out of our projects into their own flat or house.
So they would actually not effectively stay with you, but
we would be the landlord.
You'd be the landlord.
We would be the landlord.
So they'd know what to expect, and so that would.
Yes.
Well, good luck with that plan.
Yes. I mean, because because we also deliver domestic abuse services across Bedfordshire, Cambridgeshire, and North Hertfordshire. So it's all outreach work.
Okay.
But again, we've identified that the quality of the temporary accommodation where people are put is not fantastic. So we brought a couple of houses up in Peterborough, which we now house women and children fleeing domestic violence. We have one in Central Beds, and we have 2 in Bedford that we're in the process of refurbishing. And we have another one in Bedford that we're waiting for somebody to move into. So we've identified that the quality of accommodation is not fantastic. So when somebody moves in, because they're fleeing domestic violence with nothing, so they move into a fully furnished house, even down to washing up.
Wow. So they're moving into something that feels safe.
It's like a home.
Yeah.
It's a fully functioning home, and they can just move in. It's safe, and then they get support from the domestic abuse coordinators.
So can other organisations like Greenbridge, like other housing providers, tap into your domestic abuse? I mean, I'm talking about how we can work together in the future.
Yes.
So they can actually tap into those services.
I mean, referrals for domestic abuse tend to come from local government and from other agencies.
Yes.
So if somebody within Greenbridge has experienced domestic abuse, and that's men and women, it's not just purely aimed at women. That they can tap into that, because in Bedfordshire, we work in Bedford Central Beds and in Luton.
Right. Okay. So that's really, really good to know.
Work in all 3.
So we're looking forward to a better working partnership with you.
I
think it's good anyway.
Yes.
Which is good.
Yes.
Because there's so many organisations doing the same thing.
Yes.
And it does feel sometimes like we're all working against each other rather than together.
Yes.
Hence my role. Hopefully, within the next year, we're going to try to turn that around where we're all working together and understanding the same language. What are the plans for any other future projects that you've got in the pipeline? Have you got any other future projects, or is there too many?
We have many projects in the pipeline.
He's not going to share any of them with us.
No. Well, I mean, we have a potential of another maybe 10 similar arrangements that we have with Greenbridge in the pipeline.
That's good.
which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
We've got, we're looking at potentially buying a building in West Northamptonshire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because we are quite, we have three values for this organisation: aspirational, caring, and empowering. So
Mm-hmm.
ACE, very very simple.
Yeah.
And we are quite an aspirational organisation. But what I would like to see, if I'm honest, because we are what's called a PI organisation and we're trauma-informed care, all the housing partners that we work with, I'd love them to pick up PI and actually explore what PI is actually about, because it really, really does make a difference. I mean, we have to do tenant satisfaction measures because that's what the regulator asks us to do.
Right.
And we work with some challenging individuals, people, but our results are about mid-80s. So, we're doing something right, somewhere down the road.
Definitely.
But we've got lots of aspirations. Maybe sometimes I think we're punching above our weight, but I don't really mind.
You don't. Well, yeah, it gives you something to aim for.
Well, it does. And, as I say, 24 years ago, we were 4 staff. We're now 98 staff. We were one building with 27 residents. We now house 414 residents.
Wow.
We have 35 buildings, of which we own 32 and at least 3.
That's massive progress.
So, I mean, it's all about revenue as well.
Of course.
It's gone from 100,000, and I think this year we might hit maybe 8 million, something like that.
Wow.
And obviously we work with other partners like Greenbridge, and we manage or work with these partners. I think there's about 520 additional bed spaces on top of our bed spaces as well.
And it is about working together and sharing that
information.
It is
about working together.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was down in Cornwall for a couple of weeks ago, because we've got many partners down there.
Right.
One of them's almost, it's just a year. So went down, did the yearly service level review. But every 3 months I will get in the car and I will go down to Cornwall or Kent or wherever it is and get and spend time with them, talk to them, see what they actually want to do, what their aspirations are, where we can help them. If they want help with policies, procedures, happy to do all of that. So yeah, and maybe raise the standards.
What does leisure look like for Paul? What do you do? When do you have time?
When do I? Well, my grandson.
Of course.
Finley, he's 20 months old now.
Oh,
he's a joy.
Adorable.
Honestly, it's an absolute joy.
I know, I can't wait. Boys, if you're watching, I'm ready.
Honestly,
I know, right? I don't know what they're doing, taking their time.
I love him. I love him to bits.
Yeah, good. So that's your leisure.
So that's my leisure. Sunday lunch every Sunday with the family. That's my leisure. Supporting my wife, who's also chief exec. What do? I play snooker.
Oh wow. Okay.
I used to play squash, but my injuries went against me. I used to play tennis, but yeah, I just do stuff really.
Yeah, just keep active.
But also my wife and I own a sweet shop.
Do you?
And we do in Bedford.
An old-fashioned sweet shop.
It's been there. Well, we haven't owned it for 120 years, but the shop's been there 120 years.
So we're going there straight after.
It's the oldest shop in Bedford.
Oh wow!
In an old Edwardian arcade. So we bought it about 7 years ago. And my youngest daughter runs it for us.
We'll go and visit there. So, definitely.
But yes, it's proper old jars.
Good.
Fine quarters.
Proper weighing scales.
Proper weighing.
Yeah, none of this digital stuff.
So, well, now, unfortunately, the scales are slightly digital. You can't put the weights on, and we sell something like 300 products.
I've been there a while.
Honestly, I'm talking about it, but
yeah,
the stuff we sell is next level. It's not your kind of cheaper stuff. It's higher level stuff.
So we'll definitely go into it. That's definitely no. It's always best to be honest.
So that's really my leisure, and my family.
Always.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's always the family, isn't it?
Well, fortunately, it is.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. We will come back in the new year, talk about, all the new things and what's changed, if anything's changed, what projects you're working on. But it's been an absolute pleasure, Paul. So thank you so much for your time.
It's been nice to meet you, Jackie, and thank you so much.